Good day, everyone. So today we are going to discuss our week 6 lesson in quarter 2, which is mirrors. So our target for this lesson is to predict the qualitative characteristics, orientation, type, and magnification of the images formed by plane and curved mirrors and lenses. But for this day, we are going to focus only on the mirrors. So I have here a question. What can you see when you look at the mirror? Very good. You can see your image or your reflection, just like this one. So why do you think that you are able to see your images or your image or your reflection in the mirror? Yes, you're right. Because there is a presence of light. Because reflection is a bouncing of light rays of an object. So therefore, if that's the case, we cannot or we may be unable to see our images or our reflection in the mirror if there's no light. So I have here an illustration showing the laws of reflection. Last week, I have already tackled in the class the two laws of reflection. So first, let us again review what is the ray diagram for this loss of reflection. So we have here the light source in which the incident ray strike to the mirror or to the smooth surface. So you have here the arrowhead pertaining that the light or the ray is approaching to the mirror. And then after that, if the light ray of or if the incident ray um, approach or touches the smooth surface, then it will be reflected. Okay, so there we have it, the reflected ray. So this arrow head signifies that the light rays will now will now move away from the smooth surface going to the human eye. So this is the phenomenon. Why do we see objects or why do we see images or reflections? So we have also here the normal line which is perpendicular to our smooth surface or mirrors. So we have the incident ray, the ray of light approaching the mirror. This, the red one line here. This is approaching to the mirror. And of course, the reflected ray or the ray of light leaves the mirror and is represented by an arrow pointing away from the mirror. Okay po. So next is the second law in which the law of, theta I is equals to theta R or the angle of incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. Okay? So by the way, balikan natin yung first law pala. So the incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So dito yon. So yung incident ray, the reflected ray, at saka yung normal line, nasa iisang point lang sila as you can see. Okay po? So that is why, pag ginawa natin tong experiment na to, so makikita nyo yung incident ray which is the ray that is approaching to the mirror and the reflected ray that leaves the mirror is at the same point of the surface. Okay, so the second law naman talks about the angle of incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. So example, if you have here the ray diagram of the law of reflection, as you can see, the incident ray here, So, ito yung arrow niya sa baba. And then, the reflected ray is also here. So, this is now our smooth surface. And the line perpendicular, or what we call normal line, to the surface is here. It is represented by broken line. Okay po? So, ang sabi po sa second law, yung angle daw ng incident ray, which is theta I, at saka yung angle ng reflected ray, which is theta R, is, tawag dito, equal to each other, or they have the same value. So, therefore, if theta I is equals to 45, what will be the value of your theta R? Very good. It is also 45 degrees. So this is a GIF representation that shows the angle of incidence and reflection. As you can see, kahit saan tumutok yung angle of incidence or yung incident ray, so dun din equally magre-reflect yung reflected ray. So this is the representation of your activity number 4, in which you can truly see the tawag dito, the loss of reflection, in which when you put your laser on, for example, if you put your laser on the 30 degrees of your protractor, then the reflection of that would be, when you look at the mirror, the reflection of that would be 30 degrees also. So I have here a sample computation of this law of reflection, particularly the second law. So meron tayo dito, what is the angle of incidence of a light ray reflected off a plane mirror at an angle of 28 degrees to the normal? Okay po, so ang given natin dito ay reflected off a plane mirror. So this is a reflected ray, which is 28 degrees. So dito tayo. So ang sabi, yung reflected ray daw, ang value niya is 28 degrees. So by following the second law of motion, which is theta I is equals to theta R, therefore our angle of incidence is also 28 degrees. Number 2, suppose the angle of incidence of a light ray is 18 degrees. Question letter A, what is the angle of reflection? So, dito yan sa number 2. Ang given natin ay incidence ray or angle of incidence. So, we have 18. So, by following the law, so your theta R is also 18. Okay? And then what is the angle the incident ray makes the mirror? So since this is 18, we are going to get the angle of this incident ray to the surface. So what we will do now is just subtract, since our angle from normal line to the surface is perpendicular, therefore that should be 90 degrees. So we are going to subtract it to 18 degrees. That is why our ray of incidence is 72 degrees. Okay po? So, in the other way around then, we have also the same ray of reflection from the surface, which is 72 degrees. Number 3, or letter C, what is the angle between incident ray and the reflected ray? So, dito tayo. So, nagawa ako dito ng angle. So, we will have theta I plus theta R. 18 plus 18 is equals to 36. So, therefore, if you are going to add or to combine the 18 degrees and the 72 degrees, you will have 90 degrees. And therefore, this 90 degrees is perpendicular to your plane or to your surface. Okay po, so you can pause this video para po mas maintindihan ninyo ang computation natin. Anyway, that is very simple. I know makakaya nyo yung lahat. So we will move on to our next our next topic, which is the regular reflection. Because we have two kinds of reflection, the regular and the irregular reflection. So pag sinabi nating regular reflection, the reflection of light on smooth surface such as mirrors or a calm body of water. So ibig sabihin, pag nakita mo siya dyan, it is almost perfect. Okay po, hindi siya rough at saka maganda po yung pagka-form ng reflection niya or images. While on the irregular or diffuse reflection, this is a reflection of light on rough surfaces such as clothing, paper, wavy water, and the spalt roadway. So dito po kasi pag rough ang surface, of course, the image or the reflection will be rough also. So kung titingnan natin yung illustration na to, makikita natin yung difference between the two. So we have specular or regular reflection. As you can see, the incident ray and the reflected ray are very, tawag dito, aligned no, to each other or very smooth. Kasi nga po, yung plane na to ay smooth. While in the diffuse naman, tingnan natin, so diffracted po siya. Okay, diffracted. Magulo po ang kinalabasan ng kanyang reflection. So since na-mention ko na po yung diffracted, of course, you already know also the refraction. So yung refraction naman is the other side of the forming of images, which is the bending of light. So pag sinabi nating refraction, it is the bending of waves such as light or sound as it passes from the transparent medium to another, causing a change in its speed and direction. So as you can see at the pencil, parang masasabi natin na nabali yung pencil, but literally hindi po siya nabali. So there is a bending of light that results to this image. Okay po. So next is we have this figure. So as you can see, how does this refraction form? So, meron tayong incident ray dito, and then meron din tayong angle of incidence. So, kung walang ibang medium po dyan, no? Kung walang ibang medium, so, typically, dapat iyan ay reflected to the other side of the surface. But, since there is a denser medium, so, therefore, yung angle niya ay magre-refract. So, we will now have our refracted ray. So, this is an example if it so happen na halimbawa, tumayo ka sa isang ilog, okay? So, you have the surface, the rarer medium, and the denser medium, which is the water. So, ito din yung nagkukos ng rainbow, no? The bending of light. Ayan. So, just for example, this one. So, example this one. So, the man is standing dito sa may ilog and then he see a fish. Okay po, he see a fish. So, ngayon, ang nakikita niyang fish ay nandito. But, because of the bending of light, andito po yung totoong fish. So, nangyayari po yung refraction when there is a change in speed. Paano ba yun? So, say for instance, when light moves from a less dense, like air, into a denser medium like water or glass. So, doon na po nangyayari ang refraction. So, it changes the speed, causes the wave to bend or change direction at the boundary between the two media. Okay po? So, now let us move on to the types of images. Is it real or virtual? So, meron tayong two types of images, the real or virtual. So, ano po ba yung nakikita natin sa illustration na to? Okay, so we can see two dinos. But itong dino na to ay iisa lang po talaga. So the dinos facing the hologram is what we call the real image. So since it is facing in the mirror, okay po, so yan po yung kanyang real image. While the image that is formed at the back of the mirror or this hologram is what we call virtual image. So ito po yung nakikita ng ating mga mata, yung nasa likod ng medium. Okay po. So when we say virtual image, it is upright, form at the back of the mirror, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, at nakadepende din sa use of the mirror. So say for instance, itong bata na ito is nakatayo sa plain mirror. And then, he can see his image on the mirror. So this is called upright because yung bata. Okay po, so yung bata is nakatayo dito and then yun din yung nakikita natin sa salamin. But it is virtual because the image is formed at the back of the mirror. While pag sinabi naman nating real image, it is inverted and it is formed in front of the mirror. So yung size depends on the location of the object with respect to the mirror. So dito, a real image in the mirror is an image formed by the actual convergence of reflected light rays located at the same side of the mirror as the object capable of being projected onto a screen or surface. So, ibig sabihin, nakikita natin yung real image dito na na-form sa harap ng mirror. As you can see, it is inverted or upside down. So now let us move on to the types of the mirror. So we have plane or and curved mirrors. So when we say plane mirror, it is the reflecting surface is flat. Okay po, flat po yung kanyang reflecting surface. So ang ating plane mirror ay most common mirror that we are using for many activities in our life. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na lateral inversion. Yung lateral inversion ay present pag gumamit tayo ng plane mirror. Say for instance, yung right hand ay tinaas mo sa harap ng salamin. Pero sa mirror, it will appear left hand of an image. Okay, another thing is lateral inversion. So this is also an example of this. So when you write the word reverse and then you put that one or you face that one in the plane mirror, so the word reverse is now laterally inverted. So magiging ganyan siya. So, say for instance, if ikaw ay humawak sa salamin gamit ang iyong left hand, so ang lalabas doon sa salamin sa iyong image ay yung right hand ang nakahawak sa iyong kamay or nakalagay doon sa image. So, bakit nga ba ito nangyayari, ang lateral inversion? Okay po. So, ang lateral inversion po ay nangyayari lamang yan sa flat surface na salamin o sa plane mirror. Okay po. So, since sa plane mirror, ina-apply natin yung law of reflection in which yung angle ng incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. So, bawat point ng isang bagay ay nagre-reflect sa salamin na para bang naka-flip pahalang. So, yun po, imaging process sa salamin. Ibig sabihin, kapag tumingin ka sa salamin, hindi talaga lumalabas ang imahe sa likod ng salamin, kundi virtual image lang. Baka kasi literal ang pagkakaintindi natin at silipin natin yung salamin sa likod. Uy, baka nandun yung image ko. Hindi po. Kaya po siya tinawag na virtual kasi po, dun po nabubuo yung virtual image sa likod ng salamin at para lamang itong mukhang nasa loob. No? Parang nasa loob lang siya ng salamin. So, dahil doon, yung kaliwat kanan nagmumukha siyang magkabaliktad dahil ang ating utak ay sanay na iugnay ang imahe batay sa direksyon na nakikita natin. So dahil po yan sa ating brain development or brain activity. Okay po? So, sanay po kasing i-pattern ng mga brain cells natin kung ano yung mga nakikita natin. So, kaya po siya nagbabaliktad. So, ibig sabihin pala, class, ang lateral inversion that we experience is not caused by the mirror, but by our perception of the mirror image. So, walang kinalaman yung salamin dito. Perception po talaga yun ng utak natin. No po? Kaya po siya nagla-lateral inverse or left-right reversal, ang other term for that. Okay, so next nating example, why an ambulance is written inverted. So, bakit nga ba siya inverted? And then, when we look at the side mirror of our sasakyan or of our cars, makikita natin na hindi na siya inverted. So, the reason why behind that is that para po, yun nga, nasabi ko na, pag nakita natin sa gilid ng sasakyan natin or sa ating convex mirror, ay makikita natin yung word na buo na ambulance. Okay, so now class, let us move on to the image characteristics of a plane mirror. So we have here the virtual for the type because we are going to identify the lost or the qualitative characteristics of image formed by mirrors. So lost stands for, L is for location, O is for orientation, S is for the size, T is for the type. Okay po, so pag sinabi po nating type, meron tayong dalawang klase niyan. It's either virtual or real. Again, yung virtual at the back of the mirror, yung real naman in front of the mirror. Pag sinabi naman nating orientation, meron din tayong dalawang klase niyan. It's either erect or upright. Pero dito sa plane mirror, it's either erect or upright or inverted. Pero dito sa plane mirror, it is always erect or upright. Sa size naman, pag plane mirror, we have the same size as the object. So, meaning to say, kung ikaw ay 5 flat, tapos nanalamin ka sa isang body mirror, pag sinukat mo yung image mo doon, it should be 5 flat din. Okay, so next is the location. Image distance is equals to the object distance. Ibig sabihin, kung gaano ka kalayo doon sa plane mirror, pag sinukat mo yun pabalik, ay dapat ganun din ang kanyang distance. And last is plane mirror has the images that is laterally inverted or yung isang term which is left-right reversal. Okay po, so napaliwanag na po yan ni ma'am kanina. Now let's move on to the curved mirrors. Mirrors with curved reflex surfaces is we have the concave and the convex mirror. So we have here, please take note of this sign. Kung concave po yan, para po yung letter U na putol. Pag convex naman po is C na putol. Okay, so let's start with the ray diagram of these two curved mirrors. So as you can see on the concave mirror, your incident ray is striking to the mirror, and then after that, your reflected ray is passing through the focus. So this is what we call converging mirror. In our earth science, we have also discussed this one. What is the meaning of converging? So when we say converging, moving towards each other. And the other way around, when we say diverging, moving away from each other. So that is why in this concave mirror, the images is formed at or in front of the mirror, or the type is real. Okay po? While dito naman sa convex, since kailangan nating mag-extend ng line, so therefore, the images may be formed in the convex mirror is virtual. Kasi po, nasa likod po siya ng salamin. So mamaya malalaman po natin yan. So curved or spherical mirrors, these are kind of mirrors with a curved reflecting surface. Have surfaces that are shaped like part of a sphere. The surface may be either convex or bulging outwards, or concave, bulging inward. So, unahin natin yung concave mirror. So, yung mga concave mirror, these light rays converge at one point. Gaya nung pinakita ko kanina na ray diagram, nasa focus po dumadaan lahat ng kanilang reflected ray. But take note that this is after they strike the mirror. Okay? So, they produce both real and virtual images. Pero nga, kung depende po kasi yun sa distance ng object rather. So, it can be produced or it can produce real, nasa harap ng salamin, or it can produce also virtual images. So, yung mga concave mirror, it forms an enlarged image depending upon the position of the object. So, the more na mas malapit sila, malapit yung object doon sa concave mirror, the more na magiging malaki po yung image. So, say for instance, we have here the example. So, yung ginagamit po ng mga dentist natin sa dental activities, yan po ay concave mirror. The more na ilapit nila yung salamin na yan, the more na makikita nila yung status ng mga ngipin natin. So, meron din tayo dito, yung sa mga grocery stores, concave din po yan. Meron din tayo sa mga daanan or crossroads natin. And of course, this one. I don't know this one. Basta po, ang kanyang logic lang is pag lumapit ka dyan, the more nalalaki po yung iyong image. So next curve or spherical mirrors is convex mirror. This is a curved mirror in which the reflected surface bulges towards the light source. So inner surface reflects light. Okay po, so tingnan natin. Pinaliwanag ko na din kanina na kapag yung incident ray ay pumasok, nag-strike sa convex mirror, it will reflected outside or palayo sa mirror. Okay po? So these are the example of our convex mirrors. So we have here the side, anong tawag dito? Yung salamin sa car, or side mirror, and then also this one, the establishment. So, yung convex mirror, parang pinapakita niya yung wide view, no, ng isang image, yung wide view. Okay, so next is we have the image formation of spherical mirrors. And then we have our ray diagram. It is the method to predict the characteristics of image formed in curved mirror. So, meron tayong characteristics. So, yun po yung ating loss kanina. And mamaya, pag nag-ray diagram tayo, titingnan natin kung ano ba ang characteristics ng image that will be formed later. So, before that, let us identify the parts of these convex and concave mirrors. And this may be the parts also of the ray diagram. Number one is we have vertex. It is represented by capital letter V. It is the middle portion of the mirror. Next naman is center of curvature, which is letter C. Capital letter C. It is the center of the sphere of which the curved mirror is a part. Number three is radius. It is represented by letter R na maliit. Is the distance between the center of the curvature and the vertex. And then the principal axis, which is letter P na malaki, it is the line draw passing through the vertex and the center of the curvature. Yung letter P na yan. We have also the secondary axis, which is represented by capital letter S. This is a line drawn through the center of the curvature to any part in the mirror. Okay, mamaya po, papaliwanag natin. Number 6 is the aperture or letter A na malaki, which is the opening of the mirror. F, the focus, letter F na malaki, is the point where the reflected rays meet. Focal length or maliit na letter F is the distance between the focus and the vertex. Now, alam na natin yung different parts ng convex tsaka concave mirror. Now, let us begin our ray diagram. Okay po, so I have here the representation of myself as an object. So, this is an anime, though putol yung aking paa dyan. So, pagbigyan na lang. So, pag nagsusulat po tayo, depende nga po yung mapo-form na image doon sa location or sa distance ng ating object. So, dito, I put myself beyond C. Okay? Beyond C. So, mamaya i-aano natin siya. So, let's start now the ray diagrams for concave mirror. But first, I want you to take note the 4 principal rays in curved mirrors. The PF ray, the FP ray, CC ray, and the V ray. So, pag sinabi nating PF ray, ito yung light rays na magmumula sa parallel to the principal axis going through your focus. Or it will be reflected to your focus. Number 2 is the light ray that strikes the focus and then moving to your mirror, and then it will reflected parallel to your principal axis. And then number 3 is the CC ray, because when you put or when the light strike at the center of the curvature, the ray will retraces. Okay, so let's start. Light rays parallel to the principal axis passes through the or diverge from the focus after reflection. So ito po siya. Una muna yung light rays daw is dadaan parallel sa principal axis and then to the mirror, and it will reflected to your focus. Next, light rays passing through or directed towards the focus is reflected as a ray parallel to the x-axis or principal axis. So ayan na po yung ating ray number 2, yung green. So this is what we called also the PF ray. FP ray. Kung itong red ay PF ray, kasi nga principal axis, tapos focus. Itong green naman ay F, kasi nga yung incident ray ay nauna sa focus going to parallel to the principal axis. So, ang third ray naman is the light ray passing through you or directed towards the center of curvature, retraces its path after reflection. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na pag dumaan ang light ray sa center of curvature, which is letter C, so yan ay magre-retrace lamang at babalik lang din yan. Magre-reflect lang din yan pabalik sa kanyang trace. So, ayan po, nilagyan ko ng black para po malaman natin na reflected ray na po yun. So, when you're done tracing your ray diagram, when you're done tracing your light rays, mapipredict na po natin yung ating image sa pamamagitan po noong laws na sinabi ko kanina. So, ang ating image ay makikita natin sa intersection ng lahat ng light rays. Okay po, kaya dito iniba-iba ko siya ng kulay para ma-identify talaga natin kung saan sila nag-i-intersect. And to give you a clue class, pagka po ang orientation ng inyong image ay nasa baba ng parallel ng principal axis rather, so the orientation of that one is inverted. That is why kung nakikita nyo yung image dyan is nakabaliktad. No? Yan po ang tatandaan natin pag nasa below ng principal axis ang kanyang image na na-form. So, dyan po nag-i-intersect again yung ray 1, which is the red, ray 2, which is the green, and then the ray 3, which is the orange one. So, ano ang ating magiging qualitative characteristics? So, yung L stands for the location. So, the image is located in the middle of C and F. So, yung orientation naman is inverted. Yung S naman is i-compare natin yung image to your object which is smaller. And the type is real kasi nga po siya ay nasa harap ng salamin. Ayan, nasa harap po siya ng salamin. Okay, so we got it correctly. Now, let us move on to the ray diagram for the convex mirror. So, pagdodraw ng tawag dito, ng ray diagram ng convex mirror, as you can see, yung ating mirror ay pabaliktad na siya, hindi na siya letter U. So, ito ay letter C na po na putol. Okay? So, first step is to pick a point on the top of the object and draw two incident rays traveling towards the mirror. Okay po, 1 and 2. Incident ray po yan. Next is, once this incident ray strikes the mirror, reflect them according to the two rules of reflection for convex mirrors. Okay po, so magre-reflect po yan away from the mirror. Yan. And the next is step number 3, which is you are going now to locate and mark the image of the top of the object. So, ang image natin dito, class, basically, makikita natin siya at the back of the mirror. That is why it is very important na mag-e-extend tayo ng ating reflected rays. Since the two reflected rays are diverging, they must be extended behind the mirror in order to intersect. Kasi nga po, hindi sila pwedeng mag-intersect. Kasi nga po ang hinahanap natin na intersection dito is yung reflected ray. Kasi diverging po ang ating mirror. So using a straight edge, extend each of the rays using dashed lines and draw the extensions until they intersect. The point of intersection is the image point of the top of the object. So magda-draw tayo dito ng dashed lines or broken lines na po sa kanilang reflected ray. And then when time comes na mag-intersect na sila, so ito na po yung kanyang image. So how are we going to identify the loss? Okay? So yung location nito is before F. And then since it is at the top of the principal axis, therefore ang kanyang orientation ay upright. Ang size naman is smaller than the object. And the type is, ang type niya ay upright. Okay po. Ang location is before the focus. Ang orientation niya ay upright. Ang size niya ay smaller sa object. Ang type niya naman ay virtual. Okay, virtual po kasi nasa likod siya ng salamin. So, simple uses na tayo. Application ng convex mirror, side mirror ng ating sasakyan, grocery stores, ayan, dun sa mga tawag dito, daanan, because convex mirrors provide visibility at blind spots such as hallway, corners, and driveways, exits. So, sila yung nagpo-provide ng blind spots, no? Visibility, yung makikita mo talaga yung mga, kasi nga, naka-wide, wide, yung kanyang image, no? Naka-wide. Or malapad yung nakukuha niyang reflection. And then, the round form of fish-eye mirrors was considered as a mark of luxurious lifestyle, which started from 15th century. So, this is what we call fish-eye mirrors. Luxurious daw yan, mahal daw po ang mga iyan. Okay po. So, eto din po, ginagamit din natin yan sa ating side mirrors, no? Para po mas malayo or mas makita natin yung nasa likod natin na mga sasakyan. And then, sa parking space or parking lot. And then, ito po, sa mga establishment. So, dahil sa large area ang covering nito, so yung mga mirrors na to ay nagigain ng worldwide popularity. Not just in common daily lives, but these mirrors are now used as the best safety product for preventing road accidents. So, yun talaga yung pinaka-purpose niya. So, they are also using this one in the, eto na-experience natin, halimbawa pupunta tayo ng mall. So, i-check upin yung sa car, sa ilalim. So, ayan din. Nakikita din po lahat yan sa ilalim, no? Yung device na yan, which is convex mirror. So, pwede siyang gamitin as inspection device where it is hard to reach. Here, the mirrors are mounted on the proper rod and extended with lights under the object to be viewed. Ayan po. So, ayun lamang po, grade 10. Sana po ay meron kayong natutunan sa araw na ito. I do hope that you will now have the idea for our next lesson next week. We will be doing a lot of ray diagramming, and also we are going to tackle the lenses. Okay po? So, thank you very much and have a good day. Goodbye!